right, guys, so in your recipe collection there, we're going to move on to the Thai chicken soup with coconut milk. So again, we've got a coconut theme. And first I'm going to slice up the shallots here. Shallots can be a nice alternative if you have someone who just doesn't like garlic or can't eat garlic or plans on kissing someone that evening and they don't want garlic. Shallot can be a nice alternative. Does everyone know what a shallot is? No? They have skin on them, and you take the skin off. And after you take the skin off, much like garlic, they look like this. And they're really good. You can, if you saute veggies and throw some shallots in there, like green beans or asparagus, they're really nice, especially if they caramelize a little. So I'm tripling this recipe. And you can always add a little extra shallot if you want to, which is what I'm going to do because I really love shallots. So the first thing I put in there was oil. Now the original recipe calls for vegetable oil, but since our theme is coconut oil and coconut, I put coconut oil in there. This is one brand. There are lots of brands. If you're going to cook with coconut oil, make sure you don't get the raw coconut oil, because the whole point of that is it hasn't been exposed to heat. So you want to just get the regular. If you know anything about raw foods, the whole concept there is that it hasn't been exposed to heat, so you don't want to throw it in a hot pot. So just get the regular coconut oil. I'm going to let that get going there. So I got the tube stuff. It's just a lot better, it's a lot easier, and it just makes life easier when you're cooking. So, Bud, do you have any? City Market South. Do you have any objection to the lemon? I mean, sometimes the market doesn't even have lemongrass. Yeah. You can always have this on hand, and it works just fine.
I have a tube of that in the door of my fridge right now.
Yeah. So 3 tablespoons, and it's just fun to squeeze it out. 1, 2, 3. And then chili flakes. If anyone has any allergies, feel free to yell out. So chili flakes we're putting in also 3 tablespoons. It's going to be spicy. Does anybody have a problem with heat as far as spiciness? Nobody? Okay. I'm going to do 2 just in case. You can always add more at the end. I'm going to stir this up. That's the thing about when you're using, like anything spicy, jalapenos, whatever, you can always add more. You don't want to put too much in and then too hot. Okay, chili paste is our next ingredient right here. Have you all seen this at the market? Thai chili paste. It's in a lot of Thai food. And we're doing 3 teaspoons. Josh, do you have a teaspoon over there, or do I have? Yeah. Okay, thanks. And then if you want, you guys let us know if you want more.
Yeah, maybe 1 second. You want to pair around? Yeah. I can make more too. That's half the double dose.
Okay. That's our chili paste. Can you start to smell it?
You want some pina colada with alcohol?
Let's make sure the newcomers get no alcohol. Oh, no. There you go. That's a better choice.
I'm gonna judge you if they all had alcohol.
Everyone's have the alcohol.
I can make some more. I brought pennies, so I won't drink this. I gotta get rid of it somehow.
Okay, so this is the garlic that I'm going to put in here. Ginger. Here's what it looks like if you buy ginger. And what I'm doing is I'm peeling it. So the easiest way to peel it without losing too much ginger is to take a spoon and you just simply scrape the peel off. So easy. If you use a peeler or a knife, you're going to lose a lot of ginger. And last time I checked, ginger is not cheap. The other thing you can do is when you buy ginger, you can peel it like this, cut it up, and freeze it. Do you all know that? Yeah. So that's a good way to save it.
I keep a jar of candy ginger around also.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm in a pinch and I don't want to go to the store, I'll substitute a big chunk of candy ginger.
Okay. That's a good idea. Ginger is also good for your stomach. If you have an upset stomach, ginger is really good for settling your stomach. And you can actually make ginger, like do your own ginger tea by taking fresh ginger and putting it in the boiling water and just let it steep. That if you have an upset stomach, that'll do the trick. Anybody know any other uses for ginger? Nausea for pregnancy. Okay. Is anyone just getting, do we have people who just got here, right? Okay, so I'll introduce us again. This is Josh. He is the owner and operator of Fit Telluride for in-home personal training. He's with me today because we're teaming up to help our clients not only be fit but to eat right. And we're doing gluten-free today. And my name is Sarah, and I'm a personal chef serving Telluride. And in addition to cooking for people who are here on vacation, I also cook for people up here, just regular weekly meals. And for both of us, a lot of our clients are gluten-free or gluten intolerant or just not eating gluten. So that's the theme today is gluten-free. And if you have any questions about gluten or gluten-free, you can ask us. It's really easy to do these days. They're great gluten-free breads. Does anyone have any challenges with something that they love, but how do you do it without gluten? Pardon me? Yogurt has gluten in it?
Yeah, no, some really bad yogurt. If you get a good yogurt, there's not going to be any gluten in it.
Yeah, there shouldn't be gluten in yogurt.
So if you feel really bloated, you can eat something really high in gluten, which is basically would be bread, anything containing wheat, barley, even oats. Oats don't contain gluten, but through a process, elimination, they can have gluten in it. So even if you're eating oatmeal, if that makes you feel kind of bloated, then pretty much there's gluten in almost everything. So if you feel really bloated, really bad stomach cramps, vomiting, diarrhea, that could be, it's anything from just bloatedness to severe allergy, which would be vomiting, breaking out in the skin rashes, lesions around your stomach. There's different varying degrees of intensity that the allergy is going to show for other people. So the best way to figure out if it may be gluten is to just eliminate gluten for I say 6 weeks. When I first start working with a new client, I try to put everybody on that same elimination diet. So basically we'll go dairy-free and gluten-free for 1 month to 6 weeks. And then you could, if you really want to eat, things containing gluten after that, you could slowly put it back in the diet and see how your body reacts to it. But most people... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, guys. So the next step here, so we have everything in there, the ginger, the shallots, lemongrass. You don't want to let it burn. I'm going to see if you can you see what that looks like? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Big
that's
time.
very fun.
So
Pass the hat.
when you start to get that kind of caramelization on the bottom of the pan, that's when the flavors are really working. Okay, so now we're going to put in our chicken stock. This is a real easy soup to make. People love it.
Is there a difference between stock and broth?
There is. That's a really good question. Stock, for example, comes from, like you would use a roasted chicken or a roasted turkey. That's stock. The flavor is denser. And broth, broth doesn't involve the roasting. It's just
boiled.
So stock, yeah, so stock is going to be much more flavorful.
Smells good.
Usually
You guys smell that?
involves-
Oh yeah, it smells so good.
Okay, so the next thing I believe is our fish sauce, which looks like this. I'm going to let you measure this out. I
Okay.
need, let's do 5 tablespoons. You can just use that, 5 tablespoons. Yep. And then,
Someone who's watching this streaming
yes,
wants to know if you bake gluten-free, and how do you do that?
do I personally?
Bake gluten-free, and what are some tips for that?
I call up my friend in Montrose who does gluten-free
5.
baking. 5, yeah, and I ask her to do it. No, I do gluten-free baking. It is tricky, and I have to say that gluten-free baking is an art. It really is an art, and my hat goes off to those who do it. The thing is, I have a background in raw living foods, and all raw living desserts are gluten-free. So sometimes I'll turn to that. I have puddings, like creme brulee is gluten-free. There are a lot of like classic desserts such as creme brulee that happen to be gluten-free. Do a chocolate pudding that's made with coconut, which I did here the last time. It's gluten-free. So I try to turn to desserts that are by nature gluten-free. When I get into, I love to buy the gluten-free mixes because somebody has gone through the trouble and the science of really figuring that out. And there's some really good brands out there. Like I get the gluten-free cornbread, which is excellent. And I actually have used that gluten-free cornbread mix for all my clients, and they don't even know the difference. They're like, oh, this is great.